Yo, I am Eumonik. There's a direct relationship between pitch and speed. If you pitch things up, they speed up, and if you pitch them down, they slow down. If you want to change that relationship, you need to use something like AudioStretch in BandLab. I'm going to show you how it works and how you can use it so you can make more music. When using sounds from the loop browser, BandLab will automatically adjust the speed and pitch to match your project, which is a nice feature. It's also more of a utility. Changing the speed and the pitch can be used creatively, not only for sounds that you get from the loop browser, but sounds that you've either imported or recorded yourself. I have a project here at 120 beats per minute, which is 2 tracks, drums, and a synth. Now I'm thinking about slowing things down, specifically doing a half-tempo groove for the drums. Right now it's at 120 beats per minute, but I'm going to drag in these drums from my loop pack that are 70 beats per minute, and now let's listen to just those drums and the synth. The drums that were originally at 70 beats per minute are now 120 beats per minute because BandLab automatically adjusted for the speed, which will happen on samples that you use from the loop browser for both the pitch and the speed. The new playback rate for the drums is 1.71, and I want to be able to change that number accurately, but it only does it in increments of 10 on this menu. And this is why I like AudioStretch. If you right-click on a region, go down to AudioStretch, and then More, you'll see this menu pop up. You get the speed and the pitch controls in this menu, but you can be more accurate if you click and drag on one of those values. For example, the speed, 1.71, divide that by 2, 8.55. Certainly didn't use a calculator for that. All right, let's see how that sounds. 8.55. So we'll just do 8.5. May need to round it up to 6. You can also preview the sounds from this menu. Hey, I'm liking the sound of that. Let's apply it. And as you can see, it was resized in the mix editor. Let's hear how it sounds with the synth. After zooming in and listening to it, I'm going to go back into AudioStretch and change it to 0.86 and see if that gets us closer to where I want it to be. All right, now it's too short because it's too fast. So you can only get so accurate, even if you're using AudioStretch to manipulate the speed of your samples. One thing that I'm going to do to clean this up and make sure it stays on the groove is by making slices where I know those transients are supposed to land, mainly the kick. After 4 slices and moving things around, now it stays on beat. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. It does have a little bit of groove to it because it's speeding up, and then I moved it manually to slow it back down, but we have a good groove. Now I'm going to show you how you can make kind of like a gross beat halftime effect with your sounds. First thing I'm going to do is select the synth, and then for the playback rate, I want it to be exactly half. Just going to open AudioStretch and drag this down to 0.5. Apply those changes. And now, as you can see, we have a sample that is effectively 2 times the length at half of the speed. Now, this is where things are going to get a little tedious, but it'll be worth it in the end. Every beat, I'm going to make a slice, and I'm going to do that through the entire sample. Whew, okay, I'm glad that's done. Now I have a sample that's all sliced up, and it's twice the length of the original sample. All I got to do now is remove 50% of those slices and bring everything together. I don't know why I did an 8-bar loop for this. I could have done 4 bars, maybe even 2 bars, and this would have taken a lot less time. But at this point, I'm committed. Now those slices have been removed. All I got to do is bring everything together. Starting from the back to the front, I move one, then select them all, move that as a group. You get the idea. I'm having a great time. Beyond this being a BandLab tutorial, I think we learned something about commitment and dedication. Sometimes you got to work extra hard for the things that are going to be extra special, hopefully, in the end. I'm really curious what this is going to sound like after all of that. Here we go. That took way longer than expected, but a creative rabbit hole is good to go down once in a while to figure out some new techniques, new sounds, things like that. The last thing I want to show you is something that can add a little bit more texture and energy to a sound. First, I'm going to merge all these regions into one region, and now, look at that. All that hard work turned into this. First thing I'm going to do is duplicate this track, and then selecting this one, I'm going to pitch it up an octave. Let's hear how that sounds. Now I have 2 copies of that original synth. One of them at the original pitch, now one up an octave, and I can blend the two to get the sound that I feel like is most appropriate. I could even automate that and blend it in and out throughout the track. Pretty awesome. Speed it up, speed it down, slow it down. Pitch it up, pitch it down. Regardless, you know how to use it. Make sure you're subscribed here for more BandLab tutorials. If you're curious what I've been doing, hit the link in the description to check out my channel. Now, you know what to do. Make more music. Peace.